Congratulations. This is the first time that I've
Thank you so
seen
much.
you since you
Yeah,
passed.
yeah. Thank you. I'm so grateful for your help. Like I've been struggling for 4 times before to get the 26 in speaking, and I finally got it. And I'm so excited to get to the next step in my pharmacist license. Thank you so much.
Awesome. You're very welcome. It was nice working with you, and it's something that I
Thank
enjoyed being
you.
able to help you with.
So to give people an idea about me, my name is Nourhan. I graduated in 2008 in Egypt. I was a pharmacist there. I worked as a pharmacist for a while before I came here to the US. So like I had an internship, which was a very long internship. I spoke English with people and people understood me. And so I thought that by like studying for a short time for the TOEFL, I would get 26 speaking because I'm already like speaking with people and people understand me. So I began studying for TOEFL for like a year or 10 months. I thought like if I studied very well, I would like maybe pass from the first or second time. I memorized templates that in the course that I was studying. So the templates got me nowhere. I was so frustrated. For 4 times, like I was waiting for the results and waiting, and then 24, and I was so frustrated. Um, I was like, actually, I was doing very well in the other sections, but I was frustrated in the speaking section. So I told myself that like I gave this course a chance. I have to look for another method. That's it. So yeah, so I was someone recommended you to me from like she is a pharmacist as well. She actually had some lessons with you, and actually I think she is still doing that. So what happened is when I researched you, I saw that native English speakers had 24 or 23 in the TOEFL. So I felt that it's my mistake because I couldn't get the 26. And when I saw the video with Vishal, he is, I think, from the UK, and I know he's an English native speaker, and he got 24. So like, it gives me hope. Maybe I can do it. So maybe I have to like another strategy or something, or another template. But like from the first lesson, from the first Zoom session with you, I I was like I was so surprised that what I'm doing was wrong. Like, for example, the question was asking me to explain something, and
Mhm.
I was following a template that a fixed template that, like, for example, the reading saying something, and the professor is illustrating something to explain the concept or whatever. I so whatever the question, I was saying the same thing, which doesn't make sense now when I think about it. Like I had to answer the question directly. And so like I kept studying, like it like this had this like change in thinking. It it took me some time because I was so used to the templates. It was like a second nature to me. I kept doing it, and um, once I see the question, I wasn't looking at the question. I wasn't looking at the question. And the reading, I was looking for the one sentence that defined the concept or whatever, which is wrong. I had to read,
Which is
like
wrong.
understand to explain.
Good.
So yeah, so finally, like also like this gave me confidence in my delivery of my answer, because before when I get 24, I lost my confidence in myself. I said maybe I wasn't getting my 26 because I wasn't on a 26 level. So this gave me confidence, and after my exam, I had this like adrenaline rush. I felt that I did so good on the exam. I could remember like everything, and everything was coming to me after the exam. I was focused. I was actually like early, and I got to say the speaking, like to answer the speaking question before everybody else. So this gave me like a quiet, some kind of quiet like environment. And um, when I was finished, I was sure I was gonna get that 26. Like afterwards, like the questions and details came to me, and was started doubting myself for a little bit. But like I finally got the score 26, and I was so excited. Like my whole family was excited.
Good, excellent. You said that you were very surprised at getting the low score. What was the score before our meetings? What was the highest score you had gotten on TOEFL speaking?
I got 24 three times, and one time 23. I
Okay.
couldn't get anything like above that.
Okay. And then when we were working together, I remember telling you that, hey, I hear a level that's 26. I know
Yes.
you haven't gotten that score yet, and I assure you it's because of your strategy. It's not because of what you might have been thinking and what I know people are often thinking, which is it must be my accent, it must be my grammar, instead of you're not explaining, you're not doing what the question is asking you to do. So, Nourhan, earlier, I think I heard you saying something like you were surprised because you were sure in all of your tests before that you had been explaining the same way that I know people watching this video are sure
I
that
thought
they're
I
explaining.
am.
Go
Yes.
ahead.
I thought I was explaining. I thought I was answering the question the right way. Um, I just want to say that you told me like I'm at a 26 score like level. The thing is, you told me like something very interesting to me. Like the templates is like the training wheel of the bicycle. Yeah, I remember that very well. I will forever like remember it, because it was actually, if I was a lower level, it might have helped me, the templates. But because I was trying to get a 26, which is pretty like high advanced score, so I had to let go of this training wheels, this templates, and I had to like rely more on my understanding and my skills. So I had to be confident in my level, in my skills, my English skills. I had to explain more and be confident and show this confidence in my answer, because like native speakers aren't hesitant. I was hesitant because I thought I it's not my level. I thought I doubted myself because I tried to get 26 for so long and I couldn't. So yeah, this training wheel metaphor, like yeah,
Yes.
I remember very well.
I was glad to show you that, you deserve to have more confidence. There, it's what you had earned, and I was glad to return you back to that because
Yeah, you did.
good, good. And you let me do it. So I applaud you for that. I congratulate you for that. There are people watching this who are going to pass also who I think can relate to that. I know they can relate to that because when a lot of people start meetings with me like you did, they are they 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 are convinced that they have been answering the way that they should be because they see a lot of speaking template advice. So
Mm.
they're convinced that they don't even consider that it could be something else other than pronunciation and grammar.
Yeah, I remember I was listening and reading, and you said like you're not explaining, you were just giving like an accurate summary, just reciting the information very accurately. So my listening skills were very good. So I was able to listen, I was able to comprehend, I was able to say it back, but I wasn't explaining anything. And this was the question. The question said explain. The templates or the method I was using before, it didn't really emphasize the explain part. It just say what the reading is saying in just one sentence. So I wasn't explaining because it's one sentence. I'm just saying the exact words of this one sentence that might explain the concept. But of course, it wasn't explaining it fully. Like it's just one sentence. I'm picking it up from the reading, and I'm reciting the listening afterwards. I'm trying to relate to like say some words of the reading and the listening, but I wasn't doing that. So I thought I was explaining, but I wasn't. Now I know I wasn't explaining.
There we go. Right. The question does not say recite back everything that the professor said or that the student said. It says explain. So can you give somebody some strategy? Maybe somebody watching this right now is wondering, okay, what's the difference? What's the part that Nourhan added?
Yes. So like, for example, the listening, it might be like 2.5 minutes. It's saying all this like detailed information that didn't matter in the explaining. So the TOEFL like is giving you this information in purpose to like distract you or to test you if you know the important information and if you can explain it. So this actually like helped me a lot in my time management. So I wasn't finishing on time. Now, like by explaining, by comprehending, and saying it back from my understanding. Now I didn't say all the details. Like you like told me like the listener like you should explain as if the listener doesn't know anything about it. So you have to explain in simpler sentences to explain it. So I wasn't saying all the listening. I was saying my understanding of the listening. I was adding to it. So, for example, it's saying it's a free. It's like $2. It's cheap. So like you can say it, all these words in one word, which is affordable. For example, you can like saying or explaining the information in a concise sentences that aren't so complicated. So actually, I complicated things for me. I thought like maybe if I showed my like intelligence, or if I showed like I can say complicated sentences, but I was hurting myself. Like now I know like I have to say it in simple sentences, just explain it without all the details, the important stuff that can relate to the reading.
Yes, good. So I agree. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
Maybe somebody watching and listening is confused because they just heard you say it's not good to show how intelligent you are. And I think the advice I want you to help me with this that we talked about is say it in a way that helps the listener to learn from you. This is what explaining is.
So by saying these simple sentences, I was making it easy for myself. And it's not an intelligence. It's not just for my intelligence. It's just for my English skills. So the learner, the listener, I'm supposed to explain something that the listener doesn't know anything about it in simple sentences. If I say these complicated sentences to show my intelligence, this is not what I am asked to do. I'm asked to explain, you know. So I know that like some people might say like, no, like I have to say complicated sentences to get a higher score, which is actually not. Like, for example, in question number 1, the template I was using is like, in my view, I agree or disagree with a certain opinion for 2 reasons, and they had to come up with these like 2 intelligent reasons. Like my brain froze. I couldn't think of reasons and examples. And what you actually taught me is like, if somebody like on the street is asking you this, you must have an opinion on this. So like, make it easy for yourself and just say your genuine opinion. And this is what the question is asking you. So this is the difference between showing my intelligence and showing my and answering the question. By answering the question, I will it will come like it will show in your answer your intelligence.
Yes. By answering the question, instead of trying to do things to manipulate a higher score,
Yes.
by answering the question that we are being asked, Nourhan's intelligence came out more in a natural and genuine way, instead of trying to do it in an artificial way.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. So thank you, Nourhan, for sharing that advice. For everybody, you're welcome. Thank you. For everybody benefiting, and I know there's many of you that can relate to the advice that Nourhan is giving you. It's not your fault that you have been doing the strategy that she said held her back from passing her test, just like it wasn't her fault. As she's saying, that's what held her back with question 1 and with all of the questions on the speaking section.
Yes. So I was doing it this way, all this time, like 4 times I had a TOEFL. So the constant in these 4 times was the templates I was using, and the variable is you, like your lessons. when I took like your lessons, this changed. I changed, and I got 26, and like in my first time, I was so excited.
That's great. Thank you. I will say that you deserve 99.9% of the credit, and I'm glad to do my part with you, Nourhan. I'm also very thankful that you are giving this advice to other people. Earlier, you said that pharmacist Vishal's video helped you.
Yeah.
So let's imagine how many people you're going to be helping as this video carries into the future. So thank you.
Yeah. Like, I had no idea that native English speakers they get stuck too at 24. So I think this gives hope to many other pharmacists that are trying to get their license and they are stuck at 24, and it's so frustrating for them. So for them to learn that many other people that are native English speakers are get 24, so they can get it too. You
Yes.
just have to change something.
Yes, yes, you got it. So for those of you who don't know what Nourhan is talking about, on my YouTube channel, you can see previous videos of other people that have passed, and you can see other native English speakers who got 23 and 24 on speaking. So this was helpful to Nourhan because she saw, oh, maybe it's not all about accent, pronunciation, grammar. Maybe there's a different strategy that would help me pass my test faster.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nourhan, in your post in our Facebook group that's been giving a lot of people advice, you said you weren't reading the questions before. What do you mean about that?
Yeah, I was literally told from the course I was taking that all the questions are the same. They are all asking the same thing. So it doesn't matter what the question is asking you. You are always, if you follow these templates, like saying, like certain templates that I was following, you will get like your score, your dream score. That was like the dream score. So I followed these templates. I didn't get that 26. I learned that like I wasn't concentrating or focusing on the question. The question said explain, and you told me like explain this. It means something. It means like simplifying the information and saying it back to, like, trying to make someone else understand. I wasn't doing this. I was, like I said, saying this one sentence and the reading and reciting the listening. That's what I was doing. I wasn't looking at the question. But like it was like epiphany when you told me like the by not saying the information in the first, like the the professor or whatever is saying, by not saying this information, I saved so much time. I I could like say back my understanding and answer the question. Because you can say all the lecture if you can, like you are at a higher level, but you can say it if you have only 60 seconds and you also have to explain the reading. So you can say all information in the lecture. You have to explain your understanding. You have to explain to someone else so this someone can understand it.
Right.
Yeah, so I wasn't doing it right.
Nourhan said before she was struggling with time management issues. Think
Mm.
about how much time, how long the professor speaks. On question number 4, for example, about 2 minutes, yet we are only given 1 minute to speak. So mathematically, it would be pretty hard to do the strategy that many of you are doing as you try to pass, which is to repeat back all of the details that the professor said. That's not what the question is asking us to do.
Yeah, I was very uncomfortable at first of like not saying all the information. I felt that I am missing something. I had to say it. But it was very difficult for me because if I said like it's like a story and I had to say it all, but you told me you don't have to say it all. You just have to say, explain the concept, explain the question. For example, the question 3, you have to explain the concept. So it's not about like everything, the extra details that they brought in purpose to confuse you. Yeah.
Good. There are extra details in the lecture
Yes.
that are meant to test you, that are meant to
Yeah.
test our fluency. Can we filter out the big, important ideas based on what the question is asking us to do? Or are we trying to say everything and getting distracted, sidetracked with less important, smaller details?
Yeah. It was
Good.
very hard for me to not say everything. It took me some time to do that. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I remember,
Mm.
and I'm sure it's hard for other people too. They
Yeah.
they think if the professor said it, it must be important. It's like, well, this is a test. You're being tested to determine what's important with only 60 seconds to answer and what is not.
And then, like, there's a very important thing that he told me that in pharmacy, like in pharmacology, everything is important. So you have to study everything and you have to know everything. This is not a pharmacology test. This is an English test, and you have to like summer, like you have to explain it. You don't need these all extra details. So yeah,
Good.
you try to explain in too many ways. I finally understood it. Yeah, and I
Nice.
finally made it.
Nice. Great. Thank you for sharing that. I'm glad that helped.
Yeah,
All right. Nourhan, you are awesome. You
thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you. I remember you being so focused and so it was like I remember from our meetings, I remember you being so focused. It was like I'm sure you have a lot going on in your life. I'm sure you have many things going on, but during our meetings, I just remember like your attention was completely there. It was like, even though I know you have many things going on, it was like you didn't. You were just so single-minded, focused on improving and open to hearing advice and a new and better way to look at it so that you could pass. So you're so deserving of passing because you came with that approach and then you practiced on your own and applied it during the test when it's harder to do.
This focus. You taught me like because not every detail is important. This helped me a lot in my note taking. I was taking notes of everything. So when I look back at my notes, I had to say everything. So now, when I know that not every detail is important, I took the notes that I know it's important. I know I will say. Also the focus. I was so focused in the test. Like I was hearing myself. I was hearing the confidence in myself.
So Nourhan, is there any final message, any advice or encouragement, if you could think back maybe to yourself when you were in a place knowing that you're fluent, but having the results show you a score lower than what you really deserved? Can I ask you to encourage other people?
Yeah, the advice I would give to like anyone else that is stuck with 23 or 24, this is pretty high. This is advanced score, and you shouldn't give up. Um, you should try other ways. The templates are keeping you at lower score. It's like the training wheel that is inhibiting or limiting your skills. You have to let go of these templates and to try another way. Try Aaron. But
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
don't give up. It's a journey, and I know it's frustrating sometimes, and I know I was very depressed sometimes, and I also I like everyone else. I had so many things in my life. I felt like I'm never gonna pass this exam. I couldn't know what to do. Like I was doing everything the other course was telling me. I was stuck to the templates. It was second nature to me, but I did pass. So I think you should like let go of these templates and try another way. Don't give up.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
great. It's hard for people, in your post, you said yourself also that it's hard to let go of templates.
Yes.
They've been doing it, it feels comfortable. It's more of a comfortability thing because they've been doing that for a long time. Even though it's not getting them to pass, it's the very thing that's making it take longer for them to pass. It still feels comfortable to do.
Yes.
So, eh,
It's
which
like a habit. It's a habit, and you must change this habit.
Norhan, it's been great meeting you. I'm going to stay in touch with you. I'm going to check in with you from time to time and send you an email to check in on your progress.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, maybe I can help connect you with other people who are also going to be studying for the same tests as you are, if you want me to.
Yeah, sure. Like I got my RX prep. I don't know want to say names, but like this is the major book that is for that used for studying the NAPLEX. Um, it has many of the data or the materials that was in the FPGE, but it's more and more details. So yeah, I'm so like. I'm so excited to get to the next step.
It's good
Yeah,
to see you excited to do your next step.
yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Listen to the advice of other pharmacists who are also telling you to stop using speaking templates and instead start using your natural speaking fluency.
Once you are in the level that you need to become advanced
Mm,
in order to get the 26, you need
mm.
to get rid of the templates.
Template will hinder your ability to deliver the question because it shows that you are reading something or you are not speaking, you are reading.
I was using completely different template or different way. I started to apply your way, and once I started to practice your way, oh, it's easy for me.
That was really good for me. It really helps me because with this in my mind, I could speak faster. And because I was confident.
It's challenging, but you know, after you pass it, the feeling of victory, it's worth it.
Aaron Speaking gave me some advice to stop using speaking templates, which made me sound like a robot. Hence, using speaking templates restrained my natural ability to speak. As English is my first language, I thought the speaking templates would be enough to get me the 26 that I needed. Unfortunately, it wasn't, and I only scored a 23. Your lack of getting 26 is not due to your speaking ability. It has been due to your less than optimal strategy. When I was young, I first started to ride a bike with training wheels, and at first it was helpful. But then, when I needed to go faster, when I needed to go over jumps, when I needed to make sharp turns, I instinctively knew it was time to get rid of the training wheels.
The templates were like, oh my God, why did they create those templates?
Aaron, you are a big helpful for students like us. We need somebody to like stir revolution in our heart inside, give life to our conversation, and this will never happen through other sites like they have exact traditional pattern, the template, first, second. For example, don't say for example the second time, for instance, really. And like robot, I felt myself without life. I don't have the freedom to speak.
You don't have to worry that much about how can I mention 2 reasons with 2 details or 2 examples. It's too much for me. You help students to increase their fluency.
So instead of feeling like you have to give exactly 2 reasons and exactly 2 examples, instead of following that speaking template or any other speaking template, trust your fluency.
For the students who are taking with you, trust this guy. He's amazing. He will shift or improve your level as soon as possible.
Like just jump my score from 23 to 26, like this. How many hours I took with you? 5. Look at this. 5 hours in 2 weeks. I passed my test.
I hope you keep inspiring and helping more pharmacists and more other students to achieve their goal and become professionals here in the United States.
I advise every pharmacist who needs to get 26. For people who's really, they have concern and they need to do it very fast, go to the original, the source of help.